You are now tuned into the Underappreciated Podcast, and today it's looking a little spooky, man. As you can see, we got some fog going on. My boy got me in here in a whole nother level. I got to introduce you to a legend in my eyes, you know what I'm saying, and soon to be a legend in your eyes. My boy, Samuel Gonzalez Jr., a legend, director, producer, writer. You can tell him more about yourself than I could tell him.
You're doing great, man. Doing good.
What's going on, brother? Real Freddie handshake.
Thanks for
Don't
having
do
me.
this at home. This is very dangerous. Don't
Yeah,
play
for
with
sure.
knives.
I wear this on, every day of the week, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much every day.
All the time.
That's crazy how we came like.
I was gonna use your glove, man. I'm admiring your glove. It's awesome.
That's from a different movie though. You gotta give him, it's a different movie.
Yeah, this is part 3 glove.
Part three
glove.
You see, I put the Freddy's on for you. I had to put the Freddy Krueger SBs on for you.
I love the spooky style, man.
Yeah, very rare. I'm a big fan of everything that you do.
Thanks, brother.
And
likewise.
your place is incredible. Like this TV is monumental. Like what year is this TV?
This is 1963. This has seen the moon landing, JFK assassination. If this TV could talk, it's got some stories.
The JFK assassination is crazy.
This is literally like this screen showed that assassination at one point live, which is crazy. So the history behind this console is nuts. So I'm stuck in the past, man.
Well, bro,
I'm stuck in the past. Everything in my house is a blast from the past.
Yeah, it's nostalgic, bro. It's
nostalgic for sure.
It's like it's so premium.
But it stops in the 80s. Right when 1987 hits, it's like time capsule.
So
including myself. I'm an 85 kid.
By this being the coolest, this might be my coolest interview. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
Yeah.
People at home,
remember that
they're listening, right, on the podcast, but they're not able to see this visual that we're seeing right now, and that I'm experiencing. I'm a fan. You feel me? So I'm happy to be here, bro.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
And like I want to be able I know a lot about you, but I really want them to know. Like tell us about where you come from, like your background. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's a
nationality,
saga.
Everything.
That's a saga, brother.
Give me your piece, man. I need to get the exclusive.
It's a journey. A really condensed version is that I was just telling one of your boys earlier. I'm Hispanic filmmaker. I'm like Panamanian, Puerto Rican.
Fire. Boricua.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Bronx,
and from the Bronx, born and raised in the Bronx.
In the Bronx?
Yeah.
I'm from the Bronx.
I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Palm Bay Park.
I'm from Good Hill. That's crazy. My guy's from the Bronx. It's the first time I ever heard this, though, by the way.
And so if you guys are listening, we literally just pounded our Freddy gloves.
Pounded Freddy
If you didn't
never
see
seen
it,
this.
hear it. This is what it sounds like. That's a Freddy glove pound.
And then y'all hear this, guys. This is very rare right here because I don't think anybody's ever done this. A whole interview with Freddy gloves is retarded.
One more picture of that. That's epic. Ready? Done.
But
yeah, born in the Bronx, raised in the Bronx. I'm literally born in the same hospital as Stanley Kubrick, and I was raised in the same neighborhood of the Bronx that Stanley Kubrick was raised in. We grew up like literally 3 or 4 blocks away from each other. We made our features at the same year, and we moved to California in the same years of our lives. We're only like 50 years apart, but we like trail each other. And he's my favorite director of all time.
But that's why you're gonna be a legend in your own.
Oh man, I can only wish to be one of the greats one day. But my goal is just to get some great stories out there, great films out there, and scare the hell out of people at the same time while I'm at it.
That's the best part about the whole thing. I mean, you have fog coming in here naturally. I've never been in no set where fog was just in here.
Yeah, fog just kind of travels with me as I walk.
I didn't know what was gonna come out.
Effects up.
I didn't know if Jason was gonna come out and stab me. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, yo, see this man got a special effects inside his crib. Like, this is bugged out. So like, yo, let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Let's let me get into my Malcolm X. Like, you feel me? So we're gonna go right here. What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Oh, dude, you can't just put it down to one movie. That's ridiculous.
We have to.
Oof. I won't say one movie, but I'll say it like this. If like The Shining and Reanimator had a baby, and somehow that baby like met like Silence of the Lambs, and then that baby and that baby somehow like fucked. That would be the ultimate movie for me. That would be the ultimate. So I can't say one movie. It's more like a hybrid.
You understand that Reanimator and that both of those movies together will be probably the most bloodiest movie of all time. Like literally, just be a bathtub of blood. Like.
Psychological torture. But you know what? Like most horror films, most people think that horror is like splatter or like gore and stuff. So that's not necessarily true. Like to me, even though it's not a horror film, like my favorite film of all time is Clockwork Orange, and that is a horror movie in my eyes. And that's not a horror film, but to me it is because of the horrific natures of like our lead character, what he does. It's like terrifying.
But the real true horror is the realest horror, is the scariest horror to me. You know what I'm saying? Like thriller, like a thriller-esque horror. Because I like gore. I'm a big fan of gore. You know what I'm saying? We've seen some exclusive movies together that the world has to wait to see. I'm not going to speak about
Can't wait.
that.
I won't say about it, but
but
we've been in a pool of blood together.
We've been some intense shit.
Front row seats.
Front row seats to some intense.
But you're right. Like I think horror film, the real horror films come from life. Horror comes from life. That's real terrifying. You know, because we're all like kind of like phased out with like splatter and blood. It's fun. It's a roller coaster, but the true horror films come from life. That's the real terror.
And it's the art. I think the art of it is misinterpreted and then not. I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't think it really gets its like due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Like the original thing, classic,
masterpiece,
classic masterpiece.
Yeah.
And sci-fi, I think sci-fi and horror is like close to the same thing.
That's your favorite?
I mean, I like a mixture. I like Alien. I'm an Alien Predator type of guy.
So you like
Freddy fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie to you, Freddy. This is me facing my fear right now because I was sleeping in my mother's bed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And then it was from either Freddy and Candyman. Candyman, can't even talk about Candyman. I don't want to see him. You know, living in the Bronx, how it was.
Yeah, right? Like the project.
It looked like it.
It really does look like it.
Cabrini Green is the Bronx.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, for real. Like.
Yeah, that's a great film. Absolutely.
The original.
Yeah, it's terrifying to this day. So.
I didn't really care too much about the
new one. I like talking bad about the directors.
No disrespect. No disrespect
because there's some art in that. There's some art in that
there was
remake.
some pieces in it. I like the actor.
And the style. The style was beautifully shot.
Yeah, it was stylistic. But for me, Tony Todd, that's his name? His name is Tony Todd, right?
Legend.
If he was to talk right now, everybody at home, everybody that's watching us, even my people that's here watching us record this will be out of here. If he was to talk right now.
The camera's to start dripping blood all of a sudden when he talks.
Right. It's the scariest
and he's the
crap
sweetest
in
guy in the world too when you meet him.
You met him before?
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's so funny. All those horror legends are like soft-spoken and you're like, I don't know about you, man.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you something that I've seen because I watched a few of your short films. Miniature, one of my favorite. I saw Miniature. That was crazy to me.
Thanks.
And then I'm gonna keep it real. American Horror Story, you robbed my guy, and I'm gonna say it right now. I don't care.
I didn't say I have nothing to do with this.
I don't care. I'm saying it. You feel me? I'm a big fan. I give credit when credit's due, and that's what it is. I mess with American Horror Story. I like your shows and all of that stuff, but. Gotta give my boy his credit, man. You know that. Yeah, you know them dolls and the miniatures is from my guy.
They took a peek. They took a miniature peek.
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it a while ago. I saw it a while ago, and I'm watching it, and I'm literally at the crib like, nah, they're not gonna do my guy like that. Hold on, like you're not about to do him like that.
Yeah, thanks, man. We shot that really quick too. It was like I think 2 days, or not even, right? I don't remember.
What was the budget on that?
1 day.
It was 1 day. We did it in a day.
Wow. 1 day shoot?
I'm surprised myself when I shot it. I directed it. Yeah. Most of my horror shorts I do in a day, but they look huge. They look big in scale. And
it was crazy how they look.
The
whole miniature set. Your intro was better than a lot of people's movies I've seen.
Oh, cool.
You had miniature cars, literally small miniature cars and people and all of that. And then it goes, the way it went in, the drone into the world.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And when
it was wild, right?
It was wild. I don't want to mess it up for people. You got to watch it at home. I'm dropping links all in this right here. Like, you got to watch my boy's thing at home because it's crazy.
Yeah,
this whole thing.
It's a fun piece. And actually, between us and all your listeners, I was when we finished the film, I wasn't like 100% like happy with it.
Yeah.
I was like, we only shot it in a day. I didn't really get to put my vision out there the way I really wanted to. Very little money, none. And
what was the budget on that? If you don't mind?
I don't remember, but it was like nothing. I think it was like a 1,500 or 2K or something like that. Wasn't it something like that? Almost nothing. It was almost
if
nothing.
y'all see this,
it was the lowest.
I'm not gonna lie. Even after this, my people, we gonna have to watch this after. Y'all gotta watch this.
Watch the trailer, alone. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's a wild piece, but it's the fact that I was never really 100% happy with it, and it's the one film that wins like all the awards. It gets into all the festivals, and I'm always like, what do you guys? It has this essence. It makes people really uncomfortable, and it opens up the world to a place that they've never seen before. So when they watch it, they get really unsettled and they love it. So I'm like, all right. So I was too close to it to see that. So it's interesting from an artist perspective. You'll splatter some paint on a wall and be like, it's just not the right color. And then you come back with the real color and everyone's admiring the color.
Right,
Like,
and
this
then
is
some
great.
people, some people
You're
do
like,
it. They splatter paint
what?
and they be like, it's a
not done.
Basquiat. It's perfect. You're like, bro, it's not. It's not fire. It's not hard.
It's not done. So I was like, that was the first time that I was like, art really is, subjective.
Yeah, it's definitely subjective.
100%, because I was like, I really didn't finish. I was on my way to bring back more paint.
But it makes
okay, love it.
it makes so much sense how good your stuff is, because I'm like, now that I know you from the Bronx keeps creating it.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
That's a part of me forever. It's a part of our DNA.
Yeah, that's
the Bronx is like literally a character in its own way.
It's
like,
literally its own character.
It's a soul.
Damn, dog.
But yeah, I grew up in the Bronx. I moved away when I was young. Going back to that, I grew up in Florida mostly.
Yeah. What part of Florida?
Orlando, Miami.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Between the two.
I lived in Orlando for a while.
Yeah, we're Orlando kids.
Yeah, I was living in Orlando for a while, and then I moved down to Miami. But I was like,
look at that,
doing the Orlando run around, and that's crazy. Our whole paths is like exactly.
Dude, we probably passed each other so many times.
It's like tandem.
Because I went from Miami to Orlando, so we passed each other probably.
Now it makes sense why we both just came on set with Freddie.
I knew I saw some guy driving past me with a glove. I knew it. Was that
almost
you?
stabbed myself driving like, yo, oh shit.
Did you see that guy?
Yeah.
No, I left Florida when I was like 19. Look, I wanted to make movies since I was about 5 years old. Even in the Bronx or in Miami, I was always making like homemade movies with with the neighborhood kids. Always. My parents got me this camera, and I was always making these movies, and they were terrible little movies, but my parents were like not artists at all. Zero artists in my house, like none. So they're just like, what did we make?
Right.
Our kid is weird. And I'm an only child.
But you didn't have no resources though.
No,
People
no
don't understand
resources.
the resources in the Bronx is like
nothing. I had nothing.
You have to have literally imagination. Your imagination has to be everything.
That's all it was. In movies, man. Like we had this little mom and pop shop, and that's where I used to, just go to the old movie stores and I would live in the horror section. I lived in the horror section. I think the kids can't do that today. They'd be like, get out of there, But
right.
my parents were like, hey, as
They
long as
don't
there
even
ain't
know the Blockbuster era.
Oh yeah, dude, before Blockbuster, there was like these rinky-dink scary video stores at like XXX.
Yeah.
Curtains
Or
in the back.
You talk about the XXX curtains in
XXX
the back.
curtain
I'd
in
be
the
like,
back.
yo, what's going on in there? I need to rent one of those. And
Yeah,
my mom
like-
was like, yo, if you don't cover your eyes, you got you covering
That
your
was
eyes.
the one thing they're like, you can rent violence, you can rent any of the nastiest shit you
Everything.
want, but don't go back
Don't go
in
to the
that
curtain. And I'm like, I know they got some freaky deaky
Yeah,
shit going
but
on.
do they got
back
horse
there.
shit back there?
Right. That's
No,
crazy.
they closed me out. But that I grew up in those video shops, and movies basically like helped raise me, because I had no siblings. I was the only child, so movies was like my
Your whole
way,
go-to
my
and be
whole,
able to
my whole
escape.
go-to. And so I started making films when I was 5, but I didn't really know how to get into the industry. I didn't really know how to break in. It's really hard to break in. Like, who do you know? Where do I start?
Especially in LA.
Especially LA. So you're like, if you're an aspiring filmmaker, you got doors all over you, and you're like, where do I open?
Right.
One door is gonna lead to like a pitfall, and the other door will lead to nothing. It's like the Labyrinth. You ever seen Labyrinth?
Yeah,
It's
Labyrinth
like
is
pick the
crazy.
door, and one door will lead to like the pit, and the other one will lead to maybe something. Like that's how it is when you first start out. Where do I go? So I didn't have any money to go to film school. I didn't have any support, so I joined the military. That was like my first look. I need to get to film school.
What part of the military? What part of the military? What'd you do?
I joined the Army.
The Army?
When I was about 19, 20 years old. I graduated high school, and then I did odd jobs, and I tried to earn money, but it never worked. And I was just like, it's time to get out of here.
What position did you play? Infantry?
I was
Specialist?
military police, which was basically infantry, because I joined during a time of war.
And you still so during the Iraq and all of that
Yeah,
stuff?
so I did 2 tours in Iraq. I was in boot camp for 5 months, and then I was in Iraq within a month.
It was
after.
crazy. I never dealt with that. I got my cousin was in the war, but he was infantry. But I don't think he's seen anything too crazy, because he didn't come back flipping on me. You know what I'm saying? But
That's
he's
good.
seen, what I'm saying, like
Yeah, we all come back a little, fucked
little
up,
different.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, talk about horror. That's. I've literally been to hell and back. That's true horror.
And you saw it. That's a true real life horror. What happens?
And I lost 2 of my best friends in front of me.
What?
On 2 different ambushes. So it was
Dang, bro.
it messed me up. It messed all of us up, But something special happened out there in the middle of this horrible, bloodiest time of the war, my camp was so close to the enemy that we couldn't even have like lights on at night because they would bomb us. So it was a really bad time. The morale was really low. And after my best friend was killed, my
condolences too, my brother.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
That's
I
crazy.
talk about him every day because he's a part of me forever.
Right.
Because he saved my life. And so he knew. He always used to look at me in the tent. We'd be in the tent and we called them chews, but I'd be like on my little MacBook, like editing footage of what I shot in the day. And he's like, "Why are you in the army? You should be out there doing this stuff." I was like,
"So you was messing with the film stuff while you was in the army?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I was putting together footage because I had my weapon, I had my rifle, and I had a camera on me at all times. And more often than not, I always turned to the camera. And no matter what was happening, I'd always turn to, because you got one weapon. You got a weapon that has a button that destroys, and you got a camera that has a button that creates and captures life. And I chose the latter every time.
Wow.
Except for the night that we were ambushed, and I had no choice to turn to the weapon. But
That's
different story.
insane.
Different story.
Yeah, that's insane.
But
y'all hearing some real heartfelt, real stuff going on out here, man. All the people that go to war and all that stuff, that's just real life, man. Like, God bless y'all for doing that, man, because that's crazy. You gotta have some real balls to do that, because your boy, not me. I'm not fucking with it. Dead ass, I ain't built like that. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I can't be outside like that, B.
Well, to all my brothers and sisters serving today, listening to this overseas, back home, like, God bless you. Stay together, stay tight, take care of each other, and keep listening, because inspiration will keep you alive. Listen to one another, take care of each other. Very important, because we come back. I know we come back a little messed up, but hold on to the person next to you. Listen to people around you, and they'll lead you to some great places.
Yeah, and that shit, that soon will still pass. Everything passes.
Everything passes, yeah, always. And I know it's tough, especially for us that came back all messed up, and we saw some terrible things. And a lot of veterans don't have the support line to, like, they
reach out to nobody.
They don't have anybody. They turn to alcohol, drugs, or they commit suicide. Several soldiers a day commit suicide. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Every day. So like I was fortunate enough to come back and have an amazing support line that helped me, pursue what I came back and I went right into film school. I ran into the film school. I was like, I made it.
And that made you hella busy too, though, when you got into film school. That, like, how was that process getting into film school?
Oh man, as soon as I got into film school from the war, it was like, you ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
You ever seen that scene of Andy Dufresne crawling out of the tunnel?
He was going through the tunnel.
Yeah, the tunnel. Literally, by the time he gets out and he falls into that shithole and he like goes up and the rain is on him, that was me in film school. And everyone's like, "What's wrong with this guy?" I was like, "You have no idea how long it's been, where I've been."
Like, I'm here. I've been working on this shit my whole life.
My whole life.
And now I'm here. I'm free. I almost died and all this stuff, and y'all don't even know.
Totally. And I'm like, I'm here to kick ass. Like, I landed in that like a paratrooper. I landed on that ground. Like, let's go.
That's crazy.
Let's go. Everyone was doing their assignments, but all the assignments were like, they were doing little things. They were like, every filmmaker was doing like small projects, and I was like, mine would be like 1930s pieces, period cars, period wardrobes, huge sets, big stories. And he's like, "That's just one assignment?" I was like, I'm here to make some fucking noise.
Right. And you're like, "This is me, man. I'm about to be one of the biggest to ever do it."
For sure. So me, in that school, me and Michael Bay have the record for the largest set in directing 2 class. I just want to put that on record. That was amazing. He beat me, but not by much.
You and Michael Bay? Y'all know who Michael Bay is at home? I don't know if y'all know who Michael Bay is. Transformers, Bad Boys.
Everything. Armageddon.
Yeah,
The Rock.
Yeah, The
Right?
Rock.
That's one of the best action movies ever made.
Classics.
So good. Bad Boys.
He had to put that on record. You see, talk to my boy nice, man. He's not normal. He's not normal,
On
man.
record that there was a class, right? There's a class called Directing 2. It was really tough because this school is brutal. You have to do a short a week.
What film school was it?
It's called Art Center College of Design in Pasadena. Michael Bay graduated from there. Zack Snyder, Roger Avery, who wrote Pulp Fiction, and Irving Kershner, who did Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back. And gosh, there's so many filmmakers that come out of that school. But great school, just they really push you into real life industry standards. So you don't sleep when you're in that school. Everyone comes out with severe anxiety and panic attacks because you are like pushed. It's not just a school to like learn. It's like they push you in the industry. So it's exhausting. I lived in the editing bays like for 3 years, just getting my work out there. A short a week.
A short a week they went?
Yeah, that's school.
For how many years though?
I graduated in 2 years and 8 months, just under 3 years.
But a shorter week, 2 years and 8 months, y'all do the math at home. That's not normal.
No, it's not. It was exhausting. I definitely.
That had me stressed out. I'll be like, yo, I don't want to watch movies no more. I'll be doing too much movies. I'll be like, yo, I'm tired. I can't even do this.
I can't tell you how many times I went to the emergency room from like panic attacks and anxiety.
For real,
attacks.
they're like, yo, they checking your pulse, like.
Yeah, I was like, no, doc, no, seriously, I can't swallow. Everything's right. It's like, that's that kid from film school. Get him out. I was like, no, this time for real, though.
It's something that's happening on the side right here, but my stomach.
something ain't right. And they're like reeling me out like Hannibal Lecter. I was like, you don't trust me. I'm truly ill.
I'm really ill. They're like, nah, man, your body's just perfect, man. You're a strong dude, man. You're healthy.
Stop looking at screens all day. That's why.
Right.
It's like, okay. But anyway, directing 2 class is a brutal class because what they do is, in the middle of the classroom, they have like all the students around you, and you have to write a short scene, and then you have to direct it and shoot it within 15 minutes in front of the entire class live, and then you have to edit it the next day and release it like to screen.
So your cast and everything, you have to pick it.
Everything has to be done.
They provide your cast.
No, you have to do all that and then come to the location, the class, and direct it in front of everybody. So of course, normal people are gonna do it very simple. Like, look, I'm gonna have a table, 2 actors, easy. Let's just do something simple.
Right.
I didn't do that. So when I was doing mine, I was waiting outside. We're all in a line, and the student in front of me had like, I think he did like a diner scene, a restaurant scene. So it was like just 2-3 people in a booth. That's smart. That's safe. Right? 15 minutes is not enough time to do a huge scene. You gotta do it quick. So when they comes out and they go, Sam, you're next. I had 20 extras waiting in the line. I had my 2 actors in 1950s clothing, and I had 2 different art departments to basically change the sets.
All in 15 minutes.
All in 15 minutes. So as soon as they opened up the door, because they time it, I'm like, go, 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 go. I felt like
and
a
you're
soldier.
like, run the pyro.
So everyone knew what to do. Everyone knew what to do.
Like,
it was crazy. And we shot this, and it was nuts. It was a huge. It was a 1950s noir piece about a man who hires a hitman to kill his wife's lovers in a restaurant. So it was 2 different sets. There was a church, the warehouse where he hires the guy, and then the diner. So it was like 3 different sets actually. So
you had to write it. You also wrote it. You wrote the whole thing as well, like all the dialogue, everything.
Everything, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it was nuts. So that was. I hold the record right now. Oh, Michael Bay still has the record. So I did that, and then what he did is he built a house in there, like a roof, with a giant moon in the room. So I was like,
He did that.
Show off.
He did that in 15 minutes?
15 minutes, yeah.
Oh, he's different. He put a whole moon inside there. It was like, yeah, I'll give you the world. I'll give you the world, the moon, the sun,
but look,
everything in 15 minutes. I'm a legend.
He came out of the school like, guns blasting. So that's what I wanted to do. And
I mean, that's what you're doing.
That's what I'm doing. And I was lucky. I was fortunate enough to because here's the thing, right? We'll talk about this. Like I was in film school with a lot of great filmmakers. We're all passionate. We're all there to kick ass. But there's a lot of great artists out there, a lot of great filmmakers. How do you get noticed? How do you get your work out there, right? You could be the best filmmaker in the world and never be found.
Correct.
And because you need to have the talent, but you need someone to help you get to the front of the line. Yeah. There's too many people trying to get in.
It's always like that. That's in every industry.
Every industry. So whether you're Spielberg,
you gotta have a liaison.
Nolan,
you gotta be plugged in.
Always. So like Spielberg, Nolan, Burton, all those directors, all of them had the talent, but they all had someone that was already at the top of the line walk through that line and be like, "Hey, come here, man. Let me take you to the front."
Yeah, let's skip all these other dudes. Yeah. Even though the other dudes can be great though.
They're great, but they had something special. They all had white shirts and they had red shirts. And like, you're standing out.
And like we can do something. Yeah, we can mold you a little bit, turn you into something crazy.
Every single one of them had that, and everyone needs that because there's too many people trying to get in.
Right.
So I was lucky enough to have that happen to me at the school.
Sick.
And I had someone find me, and so it was 2 people. It was Academy Award nominated editor, Terrence Malick's and Oliver Stone's editor. Well, he did he edited Beverly Hills Cop, Top Gun, Tree of Life. The list goes on and on. He's like a legendary, Thin Red Line, and he got 2 nominations for Academy Awards. So he came to the school and he watched one of my shorts in an editing class. My editor showed him that, and he goes, "Who directed this?" See, that's how it starts, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Let me introduce you." The rest is history. He connected me with an amazing producer, Edward R. Pressman, who did The Crow, American Psycho. And those 2 guys gave me my shot.
You're saying everything is legendary.
Those are all legends.
There's nothing that's normal. None of these movies, all these movies you're saying is all heavy hitters.
Like just legends. Wall Street, I mean, these are hell of producers. And they gave me my shot. They took me out of film school. I graduated, but they took me out and they gave me my shot. And they showed me like the ropes, and they mentored me for many years, and gave me my opportunities. And the rest is history. I'm on my way up. And
you're on your way up for sure. They don't even know all your accolades. You got some serious accolades.
It's been coming up, man. But I'll say this: it's really just the people but it's also my camp.
Yeah.
I have a wonderful camp. I have a great team of supporters, artists that work with me. They support my vision. We have a great relationship. I'm only as good as the team I work with. Just like a mountain climber can't climb alone. Right. You need to be able to climb with other climbers. Because I may have rope and tools to get us to the top, but I don't have any food to get me to the top.
Right.
I don't have the
right camping gear that we probably
I don't have that.
To stop.
So we need everyone to come together. That's how we climb faster.
And that's the key to everything. You see, he's dropping some real gems to y'all right now. You know what I'm saying?
That needs to happen. Anyone that thinks that they're going to do it alone, that's a lie. And if they do make it to the top alone, it's because they burned some bridges to get there, and they won't last.
And then it's lonely. And then it's lonely, and then you sad. You know what I'm saying? You wondering why they missing in action because they sad. They're not happy. They got all that money and they hurting.
Yeah, they're
doing films and doing movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to work with them. So take care of the people you work with. Take care of your camp. Be humble.
Correct.
Don't be an asshole.
Right.
And I promise you'll do well. But of course, there's more to it than that. But that's the core. You do that, and people are going to want to work with you. So I learned that the hard way.
So this is another thing I wanted to learn because I do my little research, you know what I'm saying? I do my little digging. How did you get the Emmy? You got an Emmy nomination. How did you get that?
Yeah, I got an Emmy nom. While I was in film school, I was still in film school, and I got my Emmy nom. And I was in the film school in Pasadena. Yeah. And the city of Pasadena is a huge window for film. Most shows that you watch on television today, or most movies, are shot in Pasadena. It's such a diverse. From Halloween is shot in Pasadena.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that was on the back lot.
No, they shot stuff in back lot, but everything that you see on the streets, her house, anytime he's stalking Lori on the streets, Michael Myers, that's in Pasadena.
I didn't know that. That's
right.
crazy.
So most films are shot in Pasadena. Even the new Halloween, they always shoot in Pasadena. So it's just a diverse city. You can make it looks like Middle America, USA.
They probably made the sets based off of those houses out there.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if you go to Pasadena, there's neighborhoods that look like Illinois or like middle of nowhere, USA. Really, it's really a beautiful place to shoot. And so the city is incredible for allowing all Hollywood, the studio system to shoot there, permits, all that stuff. Right. And when I first came to film school, I knew that. I was like, even my student films, I need permits. So I went up to visit them at the permit office, and it was like crazy. It's in City Hall, and there was so much activity. You can tell it was like an industry, and I'm new. I'm like, you know what? No one's gonna talk to me here. Let me come back. Right. So I came back with some donuts. I brought donuts, and then they all started talking to me.
Like, this is a party. Here's a gift for everybody.
Yeah.
I come with gifts.
I made friends through the donuts, and then I really befriended the president of the office at that time in 2011. Her name is Ariel Penn. She was amazing. She's since retired, but she was responsible for giving permits to most Hollywood films, and we became really close. So she hired me to shoot a short documentary based on Silicon Valley moving into the city of Pasadena. And I directed and produced that mini doc, and it got submitted for the Emmys, and I got a nomination for it. It's a beautiful piece. Yeah. Fire. Thanks, man. So I didn't even think you can get an Emmy based on that. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is so surreal.
Kobe got an Emmy off of a short, didn't he? Was that a short? Oscar. That was Oscar.
He got an Oscar for
that. He got an Oscar for short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. for sure.
Yeah.
So there's
the short game is a whole game. Man.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna talk about that if you guys want to talk about that.
Yeah, I want to talk about.
There's a whole avenue for shorts and why they work still.
Yeah.
Even more so, they're coming back. You know, it's a great way in. I teach developing short films and directing at UCLA.
Wow.
So we will. That's
the more you.
I have layers, man. I'm like an onion.
He's dropping a lot of sound bites on y'all right now. Hey, if you want to contact my guy, his information. I told you I'm dropping the links all in my joint.
He's telling you all where I live. Okay, if anything goes wrong and you don't like this podcast, this guy's staying at the Marriott room 204. That's where he is. Right. How you like it? I'm just playing.
Nah, this right is the undisclosed area. You don't know. This is one of 10 houses.
Yeah, we underground. You don't know where we are. We're in Pasadena.
Yeah. Yeah. So from then on, we covering a lot of bases, man. But I wanna get to kind of where you're headed, where you feel like you're headed. Like I know I want to talk about your new movie coming out. You know what I'm saying? That will be in theaters nationwide.
Worldwide.
Woo!
Worldwide.
I thought it was nationwide.
Yeah,
see, you flexing on me right now. Yeah, that's.
It's. I'm honored. I'm very humbled to see a movie. You know, a lot of us, like all of us, we're climbing all the time. That we don't take a moment to stop and appreciate milestones.
Right.
This is one of those milestones. And
it's a major milestone.
It's a major milestone, crazy. Yeah. So it's pretty surreal. You got people sending me pictures all the time of the tickets they bought at a Regal or Cinemark. I'm like, this is actually happening. This is weird.
This is my movie.
This is it's out there. You know. So it's a trip, and it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
100%.
Yeah. From
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, yeah.
It's not easy to do.
Check it out. Check it out. Yeah. It's called The Retaliators. It's coming out September 14th worldwide. Get your tickets. Go see it. Because I'm going to be in there watching my own movie. So I'm going to sit with y'all.
I'm going to see it with you the day it come out.
You come with me?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Or bring the gloves. Bring the gloves.
Yeah,
cue the fog. Effects.
Yeah, cue the fog, man. Cue the fog. We need some fog, man. Cue the fog. We need the effects back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really tell what that is.
As we walk in, we're gonna walk in with fog. We might have to have somebody following us with the fog machine. Sam is in the building.
Yeah. I just want you to follow me with that for the next 3 weeks until the movie comes out. Until the movie comes out. I'm gonna walk into the cinema with this.
Right.
But yeah, it's coming out.
So tell me some of the cast members that's in that, because you got some heat in that.
Yeah. Well, gosh, it's been you got some incredible actors and rock stars in the film because it's produced by
real rock stars.
Yeah, real rock stars, legends. You know. So the lead actor is Michael Lombardi. He's an incredible actor. He was one of the lead actors in the FX show Rescue Me. If you guys ever watched Rescue Me about the firefighters.
Yeah, I watched Rescue Me.
It was an amazing show.
That was a crazy show.
Amazing. The way
it was shot, it looked mad real. I felt like I was inside it, when it was burning buildings and stuff like that.
It was insane.
Bugging me out.
Incredible work, stunt work. Dennis Leary was the star, and Michael Lombardi was one of the firefighters, and he's a phenomenal actor, an incredible talent. He's also the producer, one of the producers of the film.
Wow.
So he's and he directed some of the scenes too. You know, he's a
nice.
multi-talent. So
you got to be a Swiss Army knife in this game.
Oh, this guy is a walking Swiss Army knife with a calm demeanor too, because it's difficult to do all that.
Right.
Anyone would go nuts, and he never did. You know, he kept his composure, and he made it come to life. So. I always just want to give credit to Mr. Lombardi because he's literally a legend. I think this movie is going to bring something special to him and bring a new audience to him as a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really he dug deep on this one.
He dug deep. He went further than he's ever had before. So you got him, and then you got Mark Menchaca, who was in Ozarks and The Outsider.
Ozark is fire.
Yeah, and this is an insane actor. So if you watch Ozarks, you'll know who Mark Menchaca is. Wow. And then you have you got, talking about all the rock stars in the movie, you got Motley Crue is in the film. Tommy Lee is in the film.
You got Tommy Lee in the film?
Yeah, he makes a cameo in the film. Ice Nine Kills, Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills is in there. Papa Roach, Jacoby Shaddix, the lead singer of Papa Roach, is in the movie.
You blowing my mind right now.
He is insane. He plays an incredibly dark villain that is haunting.
Who, Papa Roach?
The lead singer of Papa Roach, Jacoby Shaddix, makes his acting debut in this film, and he plays a sadistic serial killer, and it's not easy to watch. It's really hard to watch. So this is one of the nicest guys in the world.
What?
An amazing rock star, right? And in this movie, it's
I didn't even know he was an actor.
He's now starting to act. This is his debut.
Oh, so you get to open up the door. You open up the Papa Roach door.
Oh man, like this is taking, like audiences are gonna, they know, everyone knows Papa Roach and their music's insane. They're still pulling out great records. They're on tour right now. They're kicking ass, but his fans are gonna see him as an actor now, and it's mind blowing. So I'm really proud of him. So,
I'm excited to see that. I seen some behind the scene pictures, and I was just like, "Oh, this is kind of crazy." Before, like, I don't
want to talk about it because I don't want.
Yeah, don't give no spoiler alerts on this one.
Go check out the trailer. Watch go to Retaliators, theretaliatorsmovie.com. Check out the trailer.
Matter of fact, we're gonna run the trailer on this, man. We're gonna run the trailer.
Yeah, just go check out the trailer
on this show.
Luke 18, verse 3. Here's a parable about a woman seeking vengeance for a wrongdoer who victimized her and then escaped justice. But Jesus tells us when a sinner goes unpunished, he is only free from man's law. When man's law fails, God's law prevails.
Mr. Bishop, no! Hold it. No!
Mr. Bishop, Detective Sawyer, I'm sorry about your loss, Pastor. Don't think this was a case of road rage. Sarah was found with her hands zip tied to the steering wheel. I'm acquainted with this sort of hurt. I know the futility.
How'd you get through it?
I got healed.
How?
I'm going to tell you about an opportunity I was once given, and I'm going to offer you that same opportunity. I've got the guy, John. How'd you like 1 minute? 1 minute alone. John, I want to introduce you to the man who murdered your daughter. It's time for you to heal John. My only rule is you can't kill him. Count the moments that he stole from your Sarah. No turning back, John.
You can't find your own brother? Look harder.
This isn't you. You're scaring me.
Daddy, you okay?
Who the hell are you guys? Where's my brother? Come on! She fought harder than you do! Daddy's sorry about this.
So, I won't spoil anything else. Go check out the movie, but it's got killer rock stars, great actors. It's really a hybrid piece. It's a horror thriller.
Mm-hmm. How was it working with Tommy Lee?
Tommy Lee is
I need to know, man.
Epic guy, and rock star. And
I guarantee the cast people was people fanning out at any point at some of these rock stars?
With him, always.
Tommy is on another level. Just imagine all the stuff Tommy was doing.
Legend, right? One of the best drummers of all time. And then you also have Five Finger Death Punch.
Five Finger Death. It's crazy that I know, but I'm a real hip hop head, and I know all these bands you talking about.
They're like one of the biggest rock stars. I didn't even know. I'm a punk rock kid, but I didn't know who Five Finger Death Punch was at the time when I came on this movie. I was like, oh, who are they? Bigger than Metallica right now. Like,
yeah, they're crazy.
One of the biggest rock bands in the world right now.
Right.
It's unbelievable. And all the guys
don't know that. Most people don't know that.
No.
But they'll hear their songs and they'll know their songs.
Yeah.
You just don't know the name is Five Finger Death Punch. That's a fire name.
Yeah, it's a killer name. Those guys are incredible, and they're all in the movie. All of them are in the film.
Yeah, that's
every
sick.
single one of them. The Who is in the movie as well. They make a cameo. The soundtrack alone, when the vinyl comes out, the record comes out September 16th. Got to go buy this record. It's got all the rock stars.
Oh, so they all did the soundtrack? You got all the rock stars. They all did the soundtrack.
They all did songs for the movie. So the movie is literally an adrenaline rock and roll bloodbath. That's how I'd like to say it.
I'm happy that they bringing that back. We need that rock. We need that real rock back. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
like that
and it's
hard
and
rock.
it's on fire right now.
On I guarantee you, y'all gonna hype all the old guys too. All the old guys gonna want to do. You might get a call from Metallica like, "What's up, man? What we doing? Retaliators too? Like, what's going on?" I'm telling you, you never know. You never know when them guys are gonna come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Cause that's a whole nother level. You pulling. That's like, I don't know. That's like how they do with these hip hop shows and stuff like that. Adding hip hop and stuff. I've never. You're definitely gonna be an innovator at this. This is like an origin.
It's different. With like you know the Alan Kovac, who's the producer. He's one of the producers on Netflix's The Dirt, the Motley Crue biopic.
Yeah, that was a great movie too.
Great film. He's one of the producers, and this is his film. This is his baby. He's the visionary behind it, to be honest, because he's the one that brought film and rock and roll together. So it's amazing what he's created, and then he just again brought a great camp together to make a solid movie. So. It's not an easy movie to sit through. It's like if you were going through like the most violent roller coaster of all times, with like blood splatter in your face the entire time. That's this movie.
That's what I want to see.
And then with like
I got
with like speakers on your ears.
Sometimes I like action. Sometimes I like Marvel, but sometimes I'm like I want to see violence. Like
this is next level shit too. It's like imagine the roller coaster, blood, and like speakers just like nailed to your ears playing rock and roll. That's this
crazy.
Movie. It's a very uncomfortable movie.
You know what I heard?
But
you know what I heard too? I'm gonna tell you a little footnote that I did hear.
What's that?
I heard you got some porn stars in that movie.
All right, turn off the.
Turn on, cut.
There are some porn stars in the film
That's
during
crazy.
an underground like scene. I won't spoil it.
Don't spoil it, but like there's big fans of porn stars. People like porn stars. People be.
Yeah. There are some adult performers in the film. If they made the final cut, I'm not sure because what we shot was pretty intense.
Yeah.
But they definitely came out for a day in Vegas and shot some really great stuff. And as a director, I always prefer if I'm going to be tackling subjects that have to do with that.
Yeah.
Not always, but in films like this, I'll turn to that industry because they're professionals.
But it's the both. But sex and violence is hand in hand. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when you working with porn stars, I don't know. Was anything real? Was I doing? Is there anything you was directed? Did you at one point did you feel like you was a porn star director?
No, I wasn't on Boogie Nights. Not on this one.
Shout out Marky Mark. He hates being called that. Shout out Mark Wahlberg, man. That's a great movie.
One of the best films ever made. But no, we were shooting this during COVID, so we really had to be.
So y'all had y'all shot it in the during quarantine?
During quarantine, during like the mayhem, when the world was collapsing, we were like swimming in blood making this movie.
How did y'all get that? How did y'all get to still cut during that time?
We made it work. We found places that we were allowed to shoot. It was being tested. We were doing the testing protocols, safety protocols. It was
probably your fucking nose was probably raw from COVID tests.
Blood pricks and nose prodding.
Oh, so they had you do y'all was getting y'all DNA.
The blood, yeah.
Y'all had to do
DNS, blood samples, urine test. I felt like an alien that just landed on Earth. I was like, we're here to make a movie. It's like, no, you're not. Probe.
That's crazy. That's bugged out, yo.
But we did it though. It took a long time to make the film because of the process.
That's why it's gonna do great. That's why it's gonna do great.
Well, it's been really well reviewed so far. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of the actors, the crew, everyone involved in this film from start to finish. It was a mountain climb, a very slippery, bloody mountain climb, but we made it. It's getting out in theaters. Go check it out.
I'm excited.
Enjoy the ride. Yeah.
I'm excited to go see it.
I appreciate the support, man. Yeah. Let's go check it out together.
Yeah, I'm going to, and we're gonna document that too. By the way, when we go, I'm gonna go check it out with my guy, man.
Front row seats. Yeah.
You're
gonna get soaked with blood if you sit too close. It's a very bloody movie.
It's crazy that you writing and doing everything though, man. Like, cause I be feeling like that too, doing everything, like working every job and figuring out. Cause if you don't work every job, how's it gonna get done? You start hiring other people, expecting them to do the job for you, and then it end up being not what you expect, and you get mad at everybody, and it's really just you. You should have did it. You should have tried to do as much as you can, so you can lead by example to show whoever you're trying to show. You know what I'm saying? How it's done. So then it's easier to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Totally.
I go through that all the time, bro. Trust me.
For sure.
We're very similar.
We are. Similar beasts, man. Artists. I also, before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to my co-director, Bridget Smith. She was the first director that came on board and shot a lot of the dramatic scenes of the movie, and I thought she did a wonderful job. So I want to give her a shout out on the air. She was great. We teamed up together to make this film.
Shout out to Bridget Smith.
Bridget Smith, she's great. She's done a couple features as well that have been also released, and like just working with her. And you know what's crazy? Because of quarantine and because of the way we shot the film, we never really met. We shot different parts of the movie at different times. So when you look at the film, you can always see like, oh, this is. If you were to know us, you'd know.
You could see the dynamics of it, but y'all together made something a whole.
When you blend it together, it created a really interesting, like, just it was an interesting mix.
Yeah.
And I was proud of the result. So anyway, so that's what I'm saying. Hell of a team, and even Michael Lombardi directed some scenes. So it's like it was a real incredible effort to make the movie during a really intense time.
Hey, that's beautiful things come out of turmoil.
Yeah.
You know what they say.
Yeah. So when I was in Iraq, there was a soldier that told me that. And he was like, you know where the most beautiful flower in the world comes from? A pile of shit.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So it's crazy out of something so terrible, something beautiful can come from it.
Right.
And going back to Iraq for a minute, we'll travel back to Iraq, is when I was over there and I was fighting this war and I lost a lot of friends, I started playing music. Because music is a big part of my life, as it is yours.
Yeah.
So I started playing guitar, acoustic guitar in a tent, just by myself, just to pass the time. And
so I didn't know this.
You're about to find out. And, other soldiers in the base would like come in and listen. They're like, hey, you play? Fast forward a month or two later, we have a band in the tent. We have a bassist, we have a guitarist, we have a drummer, we had a synth, and we had a lead singer and a bass player. Like we had a whole garage band in a tent in Iraq. And when we weren't fighting the war, when we come back to our base, we would run and have practice every night.
Y'all was just doing live. At any point, did y'all do concerts for the rest of the people?
So we found out about a USO show that was about to go down. There was a huge show, thousands of soldiers, and we were like, we should play. We're like, yeah, but we're soldiers. We're like, they're not going to let us play. So we went over there and we were like, we signed up, and they're like, yeah, you guys can play. So we like stripped off our uniforms and played in front of 1,000 soldiers as a full rock band, and they thought that we were a real band.
And you're like, yo, you don't understand it. I'm going inside the shit with y'all. I'm in
here.
the shit.
I'm
in the shit with y'all, and I'm over here doing songs for y'all, but I'm really in the shit though.
And I'll tell you this, you've never seen a mosh pit unless you see a mosh pit with 1,000 soldiers all carrying rifles.
I don't want to see that type of mosh pit. It don't sound safe to me.
A mosh pit with guns.
That's crazy.
Because I would split the audience and have them like crash into each other. I get them crazy. I have an alter ego on stage. I go nuts. I was the guitarist and singer of that band. And
my boy is a whole superhero. This man is a full rock star and a full director, a writer, producer, creative director. He'll even sweep up the shit. He'll even sweep the setup too and clean it up. And
I'll do that as well.
Yeah.
I'm also a Swiss Army knife.
It's a real Swiss Army knife.
But we left that first show. We won the USO talent show.
Yeah.
It was a crazy show, and then they thought that we were a real band, so they started like having us play for different bases when we weren't fighting the war to raise morale for the troops. It was unbelievable.
That's awesome.
So I developed it, and it's officially a published book. You can buy it at Barnes & Noble or Amazon. It's being developed.
My boy got a book too, by the way.
It's a book.
He's going crazy right now.
Yeah, it's being developed into a TV show.
I knew this is going to be my favorite. It's my favorite one. This is crazy.
It's if you're interested in the book, it's called The Chords of War, like guitar chords of war. True
Chords
story.
of War.
Chords of War.
Drop that drop that there. We putting that so y'all can go get the Chords of War.
Go check it out.
I'm gonna get the Chords of War. I like reading books.
Go check it out. It's really a true story about 5 guys who use music as a way to survive in a war zone. Every time we see war in film or on books, it's really about heroism and like fighting. But in my war and in reality, we were 19, 20 years old. We were still kids, like literally in a sandbox, pretending to play soldier. We were fighting, but we were young. We weren't even legal enough to buy drinks.
Look, as you telling me this, all I'm seeing in my head is Dead Presidents. When I watched Dead Presidents and I saw the war in
it's a great film.
That visionary, like back in the day, remember when they showed Dead Presidents and they showed the war? I don't think they showed it in that brutal form like that. You know what I'm saying? Other than Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the way it is, you know. So my story and my book, one of the members of the band was killed before we left. So we had this final show, we played, and you know the helicopter came and took his body away, and everyone saluted. It was a beautiful moment.
Wow.
And so you know, there's a lot of blood and tears on that book. I have a responsibility to tell it right. So it's being developed into a show. And Graham Yost is one of my favorite writers of all time. He's an incredible showrunner. He wrote Speed with Keanu Reeves. He's a showrunner for Band of Brothers with Spielberg. He created Justified, The Americans on FX. This guy is a legend. He literally wrote the opening of the book. He loves the book. He wrote an incredible review and did an opening prologue to the book. He's a big supporter of veterans and my book. So go check it out, Chords of War. It's going to be a show soon. This is Woodstock meets war. You're going to see it on a big screen soon. You can see the billboard. It's not done yet, but you can see the billboard. It's like soldiers storming, but instead of with like rifles, we'll have guitars, drumsticks. We're like fighting the war with music.
This is going to be something.
It's going to be something soon. It's in development.
Oh, see, y'all getting some exclusive
little
shit.
sneak peek.
You see when you watch the Underappreciated podcast, you never know what you're going to hear. You're going to get some exclusives.
Exclusives, yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah, we are looking for good teams, like a good team to bring it to life, because we pitched it to a lot of great networks, but you know, like Oliver Stone, when he came back from Vietnam, he was a young kid. He wasn't a filmmaker, he wasn't established, but he had Platoon in his pocket, and he wanted to make Platoon. Nobody wanted to give him a chance to direct it. They're like, who knows who you are? Let's get it established. And he was like, nope, I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to wait. 10 years to the day, best picture, best director at the Oscars, because he waited. And that's how I am with my book, The Chords of War.
You got to just trust him.
I have to wait. I could have given this to I won't say the networks that gave me an offer, but I was offered many times for my book and my rights, and I turned it down because they didn't see the vision. And I have a responsibility to tell this right.
Yeah, and you still don't want to, you won't just take the money just to get
It's not about the money, no.
Right. It's all about the art.
It's about the art, and for the boys and the women that I served with, we as soldiers, veterans, we have a responsibility to tell this story right. So we're going to wait. I don't care if it takes 50 years. It will be made correctly.
And I'm going to be watching it, even if it takes 50 years.
You're going to be in it.
Yeah, see? Hey, like, I get a vibe. You see what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta be in it. I want to bring everyone that's ever been with me on my mountain climber are gonna be a part of the story in this show.
That's gonna be so sick.
An 8-part miniseries of soldiers using music.
I've never seen anything
in
like
war. Never been done before. And this is a true story.
Yeah, man, that's freaking awesome, though.
Thanks, man.
For real, man. This is so entertaining for me. Like, I never did. I've talked to certain people, like creative people and stuff, and been around creative people in my life, but never, like, because I love movies. Like, that's like really my whole life. Like, I'm not really I don't drink or smoke or anything like that. And like, I'm not like the party guy per se. I work in that because of music and stuff like that, but I really like watching movies, like I said, my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And then horror movies play such a instrumental part. Shout out to Matthew Hirsch for introducing me to you. Yeah. That's one of my best friends.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I just had to.
Where's Matt? He's in the audience. What's up, sexy motherfucker?
you get a Freddy clap.
Yeah. That's how Freddy claps sound, like this.
Yeah. At home, they're going to be like, yo, this sounds crazy.
Everyone else would be like creepy, but Matthew runs towards it.
You're right.
Like, ooh.
They think it's chains and stuff. You know, when rappers be having the chains on the booth, like, yeah, hold on, let me get my chain. Yeah, I heard that. Word. You feel me?
Love it, man. I appreciate you having me on the show and taking some time to be with me, man. It means a lot.
Because look, the guys that's behind the scenes are the scene. You see what I'm saying? Without the guys that's behind the scenes, nothing will be created. You know, you get what I mean? Like, if everybody could run off, it's just how life is. People would just run off with any ideas, and they didn't create anything. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I want to say to you on behalf on the Underappreciated podcast. You are appreciated, my brother.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%. I had to do a Yoda.
That's what we did. Boom.
Feel me? Because like for real, man. I mean that. It's not just because it's a show or a podcast or nothing. Like, you really like the coolest friend. Like,
appreciate.
I got like 5. I got like a fave 5 of cool friends, and you like crazy. Like, when it comes to cinema, I'm just always gonna think about you. I'm saying all cinema, because right now he's doing horror films right now and stuff like that. For the people that don't know, he's doing horror films, but he could do anything, any type of film. don't be surprised if, you know, in the next 5 years you see my boy do a romance film that just crushes the game because it's your mindset is just.
It'll be a bloody romance, but I'll make it all right.
He's like, it's gonna be a bloody romance.
I'll make a romance piece, but it'll be a little dark.
Yeah, that's the dark pieces is the best piece.
Right now, my world is very, my cinematic space is very dark. I tend to put my camera in behind the curtain and under the bed and in dark places. To me, that's where the good stories are right now, and that's where my interest is. I want to explore the dark sides, you know. So I've been offered a chance to direct comedies and romance pieces, and I'm like, you know, just not yet.
Right.
I'm like, I'll warn them too. I was like, you don't want me to do a romance piece for you. It's gonna be really dark.
Unless you directed, would you write them?
Yeah, I love writing all different types of genres. You know, I'm a supportive of all genres. Like Kubrick, for example, every film he does is a different genre. You know, and that's what I'd like to do. To me, that's a true master.
So we come to the end of, you know, this whole experience and adventure you brought me on. This horrifying adventure, by the way, that you brought me on. And I just want to know about some stuff you got coming up. You know what I'm saying? Other than Retaliators, we already know about Retaliators.
Yeah.
Go see Retaliators. Yeah. But tell me about something that nobody knows about that you working on, and you know, I need to know that.
Absolutely. There has been some exclusive press that's already been it's been out there for the past like few months now of my new feature that's in actually it's in pre-production. We are still looking for investors to help us, but it is my baby. It's been a film I've been wanting to direct for many years. It's currently 8 out of 10 on the blacklist right now. It's like incredibly reviews, getting buzz already, and it is the true story of the car that killed James Dean and all the murders tied to the car after the death of an icon.
Crazy. So this is like true crime, like true horror.
I wrote a narrative based in the early '90s about someone, because the car not only killed Dean, but there are several deaths, up to 12 deaths, mysterious deaths after Dean, and the car mysteriously.
People bought the car. People bought the car after Dean died.
Well, after he died in the car, they took the wheels and they recycled them, like they refurbished them and put them on 2 racing cars, and both of those drivers were killed. Like when the body of the car was put in like storage and people tried to steal it, and it fell off and killed them. And it goes on and on. We can talk about all the mysterious deaths that happened with this car.
This is a whole part 2 of the show.
This is crazy. All right, this is insane. And the car has been missing since like the early '80s, and like it's never been found. So I wrote a narrative around who discovered it, and one man's obsession to rebuild it, and the dark odyssey he takes on that whole journey. And it's going to be the biggest thing I'm going to do to date. So
we're looking for funding for that, man. We need that funding. We're looking for that. If you want to be a part of something that's fire, holla at me, man. I got the plug. I'm the guy you need to holler at. I know this one personally.
Thank you. We're looking for another partner to come on board, make you an executive producer.
That's sick.
So we're ready to go.
Here at the Up On Game, you know what we do. We support our veterans, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy LeVar Arrington, you know what I mean? And, you know, shout out to my guy Samuel. I don't know where he is right now. Somehow he left the set. But shout out to my boy Samuel. You got to see his movies, you know what I'm saying? The Retaliators is going to be crazy. I'm going to be there. I don't know what's going on. Oh, this nigga bugged out. Really good bugged down. He's out of control. He's out of control.